In this video, we'll be taking a look at all today's NCAAB matchups, and I'll break them all down with free winning picks so you can bet smarter and win bigger. But first, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell so you get our picks the second they drop, because when the lines move, the early birds cash in. And if you want the full winning sport picks experience, head over to wspicks.com and check out our VIP packages, or grab a free consultation with one of our professional sports consultants for the sharpest edge you'll find anywhere. That's where the real plays live. We are your bookmaker's worst nightmare. These are the games we're hammering, the ones the books can't afford you to bet. This is Winning Sport Picks. The free picks are about to drop, and they're coming in hot. West Georgia versus Georgia is a classic blowout-priced game where the market pushes the number way past what's needed for the favorite to win comfortably, and Georgia doesn't gain anything by extending margin late once control is established, especially if rotations come in early. With West Georgia catching plus 35.5, that's an enormous cushion in a game likely to slow down once Georgia builds separation, and the total sitting around 165.5 feels inflated given second-half pace and game script. This pick is West Georgia plus 35.5 and the under 165.5. Illinois versus Missouri is a spot where Illinois is laying 8.5, but this matchup profiles closer than the number suggests, with Missouri capable of dragging tempo down and forcing longer possessions, especially in conference play where familiarity tightens margins. Illinois doesn't always separate cleanly in these spots, and with the total around 155.5, this lines up as a slower, more physical game than the market implies. This pick is Missouri plus 8.5 and the under 155.5. Davidson versus Kansas is another game where Kansas is trusted to dominate, but laying 17.5 opens the door for Davidson to cover just by controlling pace and limiting transition chances, which is exactly how they stay competitive even in losses. Kansas doesn't need to push tempo here, and with the total sitting near 136.5, there's not much margin for offensive inefficiency. This pick is Davidson plus 17.5 and the under 136.5. East Carolina versus North Carolina carries a massive spread, with East Carolina catching 28, and that number assumes North Carolina stays aggressive for 40 full minutes, which rarely happens once they build a lead. These rivalry-style games often flatten out late, and with the total around 144.5, the pace usually cools once the outcome is clear. This pick is East Carolina plus 28 and the under 144.5. Eastern Washington versus BYU is another extreme number, with Eastern Washington getting 35.5, and BYU doesn't need to empty the playbook or maintain peak intensity to win this game outright. That spread leaves plenty of room for late variance, bench minutes, and tempo drops, and the total near 161.5 feels high if scoring slows late. This pick is Eastern Washington plus 35.5 and the under 161.5. Bethune-Cookman versus Arizona follows the same blueprint, with Bethune-Cookman catching 40.5, a number that assumes Arizona stays in attack mode deep into the second half, which is unlikely once the lead is secure. Blowout games like this tend to bleed clock, and the total around 151.5 sets up well for a quieter finish. This pick is Bethune-Cookman plus 40.5 and the under 151.5. Now listen to me, those are the free picks, but the one game I am unloading on tonight, the game that's going to crush your bookie's soul, that's the VIP play of the day at wspicks.com. This is the nuke, the hammer, the max bet, the one play I've circled, the game that will bury your bookmaker 6 feet under. When it hits, and it will, your bookie is going to need a doctor, a lawyer, and maybe even a priest. If you want to ride with me on the biggest bet of the day, get to wspicks.com right now. Quick recap before we get out of here. West Georgia plus 35.5 and under 165.5. Missouri plus 8.5 and under 155.5. Davidson plus 17.5 and under 136.5. East Carolina plus 28 and under 144.5. Eastern Washington plus 35.5 and under 161.5. And Bethune-Cookman plus 40.5 and under 151.5. This is Winning Sport Picks, where we don't just bet, we bury bookmakers. Smash that subscribe button, drop your favorite plays in